Hello, everyone. I'm Jesus, and welcome to the next episode of the Road to Old School MTG. So I have a lot of packages today. 12, I believe, over here. There's nothing big here. What I've decided to do is, from the last video I mentioned, I am missing 2 Power 9 cards to complete my Erhnamgeddon deck. I have previously completed it, but that was a more scaled down version. And that's before I decided to buy Power 9 cards. And now I've made that leap. I have 4 Moxes. I need one more Mox Jet, the black one. And I have an Ancestral Recall. I need the Time Walk. So those 2 cards, the Mox Jet and Time Walk, are the 2 Power 9 cards I need to complete this new version of the deck, of my Erhnamgeddon old school deck. I don't plan on buying the Time Twister. It doesn't fit the deck or any other deck I plan to make in the future. And the Black Lotus card, it's out of the question at this point. It's too much money, right? So it's that the reason why I can't get that one is out of the budget. I've already spent enough as it is, way more than I originally anticipated, right? So regarding the Time Walk, I did recently purchase one. It's being shipped today, in fact. So hopefully next week I can post a video about me receiving it, and then I'll be down to just the Mox Jet needing that one. And there are a couple of auctions on eBay for a couple of Mox Jet listings that I've saved and I'm watching. So maybe one of them pans out and I end up getting a Mox Jet from one of those things also, right? So hopefully I'll have those 2 cards resolved, and then that'll complete the deck. But these cards here are towards the sideboard mainly of my new deck, Erhnamgeddon deck, and also just to be able to tweak the deck in other directions. And I'll explain more as I open up these cards. And just to be clear, I don't have a set specific 15 card sideboard yet. What I've done is basically research. Since I'm still in the research phase, I'm learning more about common Erhnamgeddon builds and also common sideboard cards for the Erhnamgeddon decks. I can't really decide on 115 card sideboard yet. So what I've decided to do is just get the cards that I've noticed that appear a lot or that I like, right? Or kind of like the way I want the sideboard to look like, and I'm getting those cards, and then I'm just getting them. Then I'll decide what will be the 15 card sideboard, and it might change depending on the situation. If I'm doing X points, I might decide to do different 15 card sideboard. Right, if I'm just playing the full on no restrictions, other than ban and restricted list, the usual, then that might be a different sideboard, right? So it just gives me flexibility basically to mix and match and tailor towards certain things, towards certain formats. Plus, a lot of times I got just play sets of stuff, even if maybe I don't envision me using 4 of in a specific sideboard. Since most of these cards are cheap anyway, I figure might as well just get a play set for most of these, not all of them. So that's my reasoning. And as I open up the cards, I think I'll explain more as they are open and so forth. Okay, so let's open up the first one. This should be a playset of Whirling Dervishes, 4th edition. So let me go. You could just feel no bubble mail or anything, but these are very cheap cards. And just the top loader inside is what it feels like. Yep. For most of these, one package has all the cards, like the full playset. That's what I try to do. The one exception for that was Wrath of Gods, the Wrath of God. I couldn't buy a full play set. In fact, I couldn't buy more than one. Like they're all selling them just one off. So that one, since I want a full play set for those cards, I had to buy 4 different listings. But this one, so top loader, penny sleeve, and then the 4 Whirling Dervishes inside. Yeah, they look nice. Yep, seem in unplayed condition, right? So, well, maybe some light play. They do have a little bit of pull at the bottom here. I'll see if I can share more up close pictures here. Oh, wait, I forgot to invert it. There we go. Back here, right? You see, we have this a bit of a nick there, and mainly from the back is where you see it. This one also has a bit of a nick in the back. The front, for all of these, the front looks great, which is the main thing that is important to me. Of course, I do want, good backs as well. That's not to say I'm going to accept something that's just horrible in the back, but it's secondary. So, and these cards are very cheap. I believe these are in Arabian Nights, I believe. That's where they first came, right? By one of the 4 Horsemen sets. So these are 4th edition ones, right? So perfectly fine, especially considering the price I got them for. So let me show the listing where I got these from. So 4 Whirling Dervishes, play set $6 and then $150. So for around like $8, I ended up, after the fees or whatever, taxes. So $2 a card. That one seemed like it's warped in the photo, actually, right? You see that? Let me see them in real life. I guess, yeah, a little bit. In person, you can't really tell them so much. Maybe yeah. But, I mean, these cards are so cheap, doesn't matter. Yep, and they didn't just written as used, right? So just to make it more bit ambiguous, right? Which is good. It's better to just say used, and then instead of saying near mint, and then these are clearly not near mint. But I would say they're hovering the light played near mint. Maybe this one could be near mint. Okay, nope, I was wrong. Do they all have? Yeah, they all have that pull on the corner. So this one has it the least, right? So this one maybe is the closest to near mint out of all of them. But if it wasn't for that, they would be near mint. So light played, which is perfectly fine. All right, so these Whirling Dervishes protection from black, right? So this is a good sideboard card for black, and honestly, it's just a good sideboard, a good card in general. If I were to, my idea for the deck is to have flexibility. So I want to, with this Erhnamgeddon deck, of course, I want to be able to play the full-on, most expensive version that it could be, right? With the boxes, time walk, time ancestral recall, stuff like that. One day Black Lotus. But maybe I join a budget league, right? A budget format, and then these will be perfect for that, right? So, or I'm playing X Points in an X Point, which I am part of an X Points Facebook group. So then, right, that's limited, and then I can have my full range of Power 9 cards, or just really powerful cards in general. So this gives me flexibility, or maybe I just in general I just decide to make the deck more aggro, right? Just change the you know, just the feeling of the deck, right? So so this is not strictly just for sideboards, although that was the main reason, right? It could very well, depending on which way I want to tweak the deck, it could be a card in the main deck as well. But I was noticing these, not every sideboard had these, but half the time I would notice a lot of the Erhnamgeddon decks had Whirling Dervishes in the sideboard. Some of them you have a main deck, right? But some of them had these on the sideboard, and I like that idea. And I like the idea of, you know, if it's in the sideboard, I could add them, of course, not just for black, but maybe if I'm playing against some a Weenie deck, right? So I think they could also be fit into that one against that deck, if I, you know, if I so choose, because then this could be nice protection. It has right, protection from black, and it's a bit aggro, right? So if every time it attacks and it gets through, it keeps on growing, right? So, you know, it gives flexibility. So I like this card for that reason. All right, so that was that one. Order of Leitbur. So these are kind of similar to the Whirling Dervish. It's just the white weenie creature. Also, play set of these. I did get 4 white knights. Actually, I got 5 because the listing I bought had 5 of them. Of course, I don't need 5, but I wanted to avoid buying multiple listings just to have white knights, right? Or any of these cards. Whenever I could, I would just try to get the all 4 from one sale. And this particular seller had 5 of them. So if one, the worst condition one is the one I'm not going to use, but that one is still on the way. This one should be Order of Leitbur, which is very similar to the white knights. Just came in some random scientific paper. Interesting. And then I seen this kind of wrapping before for the top loader. So this is pretty nice. It came with that. There's no top loader though. But I think with all this, it's forgivable. Right? So this is kind of like a binder's sleeve type of thing. So pretty well protected. Yeah, nice. So these are from Falling Empire. So this one is a bit more situational. But they're also nice cards that I notice in a lot of sideboards. And once again, maybe I decide to add them main deck. These can have, you can give them first strike, which could come in very handy against, once again, against weenie decks. So light play condition for these. They don't have that pull at the bottom. So actually, if anything, these are maybe better condition than the Whirling Dervishes. So like I was saying, so these are one for the same reason. These are good against black, just like the Whirling Dervishes. But also just in general against aggro decks, these are nice. These are actually maybe better against aggro decks. This one has a bit of a scuff right there. So I mean, I believe I got these as light plate or something like that. So, oh, and I was mentioning Falling Empires, right? Certain old school formats do not allow for Falling Empires. I believe this is Falling Empires. Right, the little crown is Falling Empires. So I have to, depending on which format I play, certain formats allow for Falling Empires. Certain old school formats do not, right? So, so that's why all these cards, I'm getting so many cards, because a lot of times it might be situational. It might even be dependent upon those kind of, you know, what's allowable for the format. So if I'm playing a format that allows Falling Empires, and I want to add these, right? Just, you know, seems like, you know, that's the way I want to go, then I could fit these in. But I gotta, like I said, I have to watch out to play those specific formats. If not, and I forget to take them out, it's right. My deck is I'm cheating, right? I guess you could say. So just gotta watch out for that. But once again, it gives me flexibility. And this is now white creatures, and these ones are nice because you can give them first strike and you can pump them up. White knights already come with protection from black and first strike built in, right? But they cannot be pumped up. These are nice because you can pump them up. It costs a bit of mana, but at least you can, right? So, and though it costs mana to give them first strike, it's still nice because it's still more flexible, right? White knight is a white knight. That's what it is. That's all it's going to be, unless you do other things to it. But this one, depending on what you decide to pay, it can change slightly, and that could be a big difference. So I noticed these in a lot of sideboards as well. Like I said, just like the white knights. So I like that idea, but I knew the white knights might be better in certain situations, and then if I'm playing in a format that allows falling empires, maybe these will be a better. So just gives me flexibility, like I was saying. So let me open up that listing, and all these listings are very cheap stuff in general. Some of these are more expensive, I guess like 20-30 bucks, I think. But that's compared to the hundreds, close to thousands I spent on other cards. This is nothing. All right, so 4 of them, light play. They're definitely light play. So like this listing is accurate for $2.50 and 25 cents shipping. That's crazy because a stamp costs 50 cents. So that's nice. So I guess for $3, I got 4 of them, right? So less than $1 each. And light play condition, they're in nice condition. You can see little scuffs here and there, but I don't think I want to spend a lot of money for near mint Order of Leitburs. I could have, but I mean, not worth it. But the cards are nice, and that's what I paid for them. The pictures seem fine. Oh, this one didn't have back. That was weird. Okay. Yeah. All right. So let's see. Ooh, black Vise. So I got a playset of 4 black Vises. So let's see. Okay, so I have the 4 black Vises here. So I'm just trying to see if I think they're 4th edition. I think. All right, so I got a playset of 4 of them. It's not even an envelope. It's just a copy paper, folded up, and then print it. It's kind of funny. All right, but there's I feel the top loader inside, so as long as I get the card, I don't care about that. Actually came in a little cardboard, which is maybe even better. Yeah, no top loader, but I think that provided even better protection. And they come with a deck sleeve, and then the 4 got crammed in there. One, two, three, 4. They look great. Ooh, these are revised. Okay, yeah, they're in revised also. They're not listed as revised, but from the pictures you can tell they're revised. So that's fine. I mean, that's better than, since I got so much stuff, I forgot what it is. So light played from the front, they look great. They look near mint from the front. But when I looked at them from behind, you can see small things. This one you see more, but yeah, you can see the plate condition more from the back, and that's usually the case 9 out of 10 times. Like you can tell more from the back because of the black borders, right? Unless you got a card that's black border in the front also, it just pops out more. All right, so let me quickly show these cards, right? Even though there's cheap, I just want to be thorough, and I want to give you guys the full scope of what I'm doing here. So for revised, like Vise is in light play condition, pretty good condition. Yeah, I think this is the one that's the most beat up on the back. This one looks pretty good from the back. And all of them on the front are nice. So probably the cards got clean. Ooh, one of them I just noticing a bit of a scratch indentation even. Now that I laid it down. Yeah, all right, I mean, still okay. All right, so let me show the listings and then also just talk about the cards themselves, right? So Black Vise, if opponent has more than 4 cards in hand during his or her upkeep, Black Vise does 1 damage to opponent for each card in excess of 4. So every card over 4 that they have in their hand, they take a damage during upkeep, right? So if you have 2 of these out at the same time, that could pile up. So these are good for against control decks, right? So somebody's playing blue, right? They're holding onto their cards so they can counter spell the stuff you play. This costs 1 mana, right? So you can cast this easily, right? If you have a first turn, you're casting this first turn against somebody who has a control deck, right? And it doesn't have to be just counter spell, just somebody who holds things, which reacts to what you do first. So they tend to not play things. They're passive, and then they're reactive. So then they hold things until you do something, and then they play stuff. Right? But with this, I'm perfectly fine just playing lands, and not really casting much because this is gonna quickly make kill them, right? So then they're forced to do stuff. So that changes their game plan. Their decks were made to be reactive, right? But now they have to act first, right? So these are good for against any type of control deck, any type of player that likes to keep their hands full and react to you. So for Black Vises, right? So remember, all of these I'm getting 4 of. I'm not necessarily going to put 4, although I seen 4 Black Vises definitely in the sideboards of certain Erhnamgeddon decks. So $5 free shipping. So a bit of $1.25 each. No pictures of the front, right? But I think it was fine. One of these had, once I tilted, it kind of has a, not kind of has, it does have a pretty deep gash. Seems like made from just something squished it. So let me see if I can show it on the card itself, right? So on that picture, like they're overlapping each other, right? So I can't really, because it's covering the side that's getting overlapped. So I'm not going, this wouldn't change my, I wouldn't say I was deceived or anything, just once again, just giving you the full scope of what it is that I have. I don't think you can, it is right here and this, okay, you can maybe tell a little bit. Nah, it's just too blurred or just too bright in here. Yeah, but it has a long indentation. So it could even be from a binder where, that's common as you flip things and then maybe gets caught on something and then stays there for a while and then just makes an indentation in the card itself, right? So not a big deal, especially considering these are so cheap. Okay, so that's that one. Okay, this one's a bit more of a more expensive card. Greater Realm of Preservation. So this one, I paid $17 for this one card, and I just got one because this one is not restricted or anything. But I've noticed just people had one of them. If I did see them, I just saw one, so I might get another one maybe. But at least I'm starting with one. So it came in a bubble mailer, small one. Manila mailer, but definitely can feel the bubbles inside. I don't even think it's a top loader, and there's pretty bendy, so actually I don't like that. Bubbles do not replace the need for something rigid inside the envelope itself, right? So I'm not happy with that, but maybe I'm wrong, or maybe there's something else. Oops. Oh no, it is. It did have a top loader. That's good. So because of the bubbles, I thought it didn't, right? Just made it seem extra bendy. But no, it did have a top loader. Has this over that, and then that over that. Oh, okay. And that reminds me. That's the reason why I only got one. Also, this is Legends. This is near mint. So I didn't check if this was reprinted. I'm guessing no, because I probably would have gotten this like if I had seen it in like 4th edition or something. Or maybe not. I'm getting so many cards, like I forget my reasoning for getting them. Not forgetting the card and stuff, I mean like which version, right? Like I'm thinking, okay, that I wanted to specifically get it in Legends, or like I couldn't find it anywhere else, I had to get it in Legends, or like I did it on purpose, those kind of things, and that's sometimes I'm forgetful. I'm forgetful in general, so then those details can escape me sometimes. But I know why I got the card. So this one is nice. So prevent all damage against you from one red or black source. This is a circuit protection red and black put into one. So the drawback is it costs more mana. So usually it's just one white mana, and you prevent all damage from one source per one white mana you spend, but for a specific color, right? So this one is you prevent it from both colors, but you got to pay one white and one color. So it costs a little bit more to activate, but it gives you more leeway. So I noticed this in some sideboards, not a lot of them, but when I noticed it, I like the idea, right? Because I'm definitely would have some circuits of protection in my own collection, right? Those are super cheap anyway, right? In fact, I was going to talk about that. So let's say I do talk about it. But I figure this is more efficient. I can protect against both colors with one card. Right? So it just gives me more freedom. Yeah, and that's excellent condition. That seems like it's near mint. So near mint light plate, it was listed as in the listing. Legend single card near mint light plate. Definitely in that range. Probably I will go above and say near mint. Yeah, very nice. So in fact, the pictures didn't do it justice because it was very flashy. The real card here is impeccable. Looks beautiful. So 16.95 plus no shipping, right? So it really just cost 17, and then a couple of dollars probably taxes, right? So less than 20. I got a near mint Greater Realm of Preservation. 1 second here. Okay, I'm back here. Okay, so all right, so that was fine. I have that card there. So that's good. And the price was fine. Like I said, that one I don't think I'll get more of them. At least like a full play set, definitely. Maybe one more. Or maybe I just decide to just go with Circle Protection Red and Circle Protection Black. Those also are very common in sideboard COPs. But I also noticed that, and I thought that was maybe a better, at least it was a nice idea that I liked. And I wanted to have that option if I so chose to go that way. All right, so Relic Barrier over here. So that one, actually, this is one of the more expensive ones from this batch at $17. Relic Barrier, also another one of those more expensive, because that one was Legends, right? So also Relic Barrier is also in Legends. So similar price, $1 more. This one came in very nice cardboard envelope. Seems very sturdy. So I can't tell if there's a top loader inside, but most likely. But maybe didn't even need it because the protection is so deep. Yeah, it came with no top loader. But I don't mind it because this is even better protection, I think. Right, so something like that, then yeah, then you don't have to do top loader. Yeah, nice. So Relic Barrier came in kind of this thingy here. I don't know what to call it. Then the penny sleeve inside, and then the card itself. Wow, this looks really nice. This one, I'm a little unsure of how many to get. Not that I didn't want it. I definitely wanted it. This is cool card. And I definitely understand the use and how I will use it. Right, so I'm not hesitant to use this one. But I'm thinking, just from the what it does, I'm thinking I might need more, or at least it's most powerful with multiples. So from Legends, Relic Barrier, where's this one? Tap target artifact becomes tap, right? So you tap something. I mean, you tap this and you tap an artifact from your opponent. So let's say you're playing with an opponent that has a lot of moxes. I tap after they're untapped during their upkeep. I could tap their mox, whatever mox that want to tap. Unless they have some kind of an instant that they want to play during their upkeep, which is unusual, right? Mostly you want to play during your main phase, right? Even if it's an instant during your main phase, right? But main phase is where you play spells usually. So unless they got an instant they want to use right there and then, I'm going to tap, and then that means they don't have that mana for their main phase, right? Or I could tap whatever other effect. Maybe they get an icy manipulator. I'd rather tap it. I could tap it at the end of their turn. So even if they tap in reaction, they tap something of mine, that will be done because I'm going to get my, I did at the end of their turn, and then I'm just going to untap anyway, right? So anything that's for an opponent that uses a lot of artifact heavy deck, kind of like my deck actually. And another reason I like this is because it actually could benefit me. I could tap my own winter orbs with this, right? So that's kind of like, I'm not sure, like I could definitely even see myself putting this main deck, May 1, right? So because it's both, it would both be beneficial for my own artifacts, well, some of them, right? But also beneficial against an opponent. In old school, almost everybody's playing artifacts, right? Even if you're playing colored, cards, by which of course you have to, right? But unless you're like, I think Tron decks, I think that's what they're calling, where it's artifact heavy. But even those, they still got other color spells, right? But they usually win with artifacts. Right? So this will find a lot of use in general. But this is not a, from what I understand, this is not at all a restricted card, nor is Greater Realm of Preservation. Right, so I could have a full play set of these, or the Greater Realm of Preservation. If I don't, it's mostly because I don't see the use for it, right? And it's kind of like a $20 card, so I'm not going to spend 80 bucks. You know, the other ones, Black Vise, that's $1, right? So, okay, doesn't cost me much to get all four. Whirling Dervish, it doesn't cost me much to get all four. These, it will cost me more to get all four. Even though I spent hundreds on other cards, just one card, still, right? It's more just, you know, just these I don't mind having places because I could actually see myself using all four Black Vices against a certain opponent. If I decide to go weenie, I could definitely see myself doing all four Whirling Dervishes, all four orders, things like that. Right, this one is situational. I don't need four. This one has more, is more useful than the Greater Realm, but this is very situation. This is, it's more generic, right? That's why I could even consider this putting maybe one or two main deck, if, you know, against certain formats, right? My deck currently has no space. I'm not going to take out a Time Walk to add this, right? But if I do a different format, maybe X points, and I got to get rid of like almost all my maxes, then okay, then maybe this does have a home there, you know, as in the main deck. But definitely does have a home in the sideboard. So this card, I'm seriously considering at least getting one more. But for now, though, having the one is fine. You know, gets the ball rolling, and at least I have it available to me already, right? So that way I could already put one in my sideboard already. Let me open up that listing for this. Okay, so near mint, which is definitely near mint. Legends, $18, no shipping. So must have been like 20 with after tax or whatever. So $20 a near mint for Relic Barrier from Legends. Good deal, right? So yeah, nothing else to say. Pretty straightforward transaction. All right. So this one, I was a little unsure which one it was. I don't like this about eBay, unless if somebody provides, well, let me share. If somebody provides tracking, which most, you see, this one has tracking, this one has tracking. This one here didn't have, they just said, the seller marked it as, okay, I already sent the card. So that means they just put a, like this, they put a stamp and that's it. That's what I do also, right? So I'm not criticizing it. I do it myself, right? But I'm just saying, and if you're just expecting one card that you bought, you know exactly what you're gonna get, right? But I had 12 packages here, right? So, you know, just when I click on this, it'll show me, okay, it's from this address going to that address, right? So, because if I'm getting, you know, like I bought four Wrath of Gods, and not all the envelopes post their eBay account names in the thing, right? So they just put the regular name, right? So some of them do, most of them do still. They put their whatever Magic House of Cards or whatever, right, in it. But some don't. But then I'm not sure which one I'm getting, right? So, and then since I can't click on anything, sometimes what I go bought is based off when I click on this, it came from this. It doesn't tell me the exact address, but it tells me the town. From this town, in this state to this, to my address, right? So what's the chances I bought from two different people the same card in the same town, right? So, you know, just, you know, for me and my OCD, I would have liked to know, have that information anyway, right? So whether you have a tracking number or not, that's just, I think that's just nice info to have. So this should be from a process of elimination, because I have two others that I know are Wrath of Gods. So this should be one of the other Wrath of Gods. Okay, it is a Wrath of God. I was right. Cornflakes. Never saw that before, but I don't care. What I do care is that it's really tacked on. So I gotta kind of cut it with a knife here. But it's in a penny sleeve, so nothing's gonna happen to it. All right, so yep, penny sleeve. Ooh, this is really nice condition. And all the Wrath of Gods that I got were from Revised. Ooh, this is near mint. So yep, seems like this was the one. So let me open up the listings, but first let me do up close. So for some reason, nobody was selling 4 of them at a time. Even if somebody was selling 2 of them, I would have definitely bought the 2 from them. I think maybe there were a couple that had multiples, but the condition was not good. And well, I'll take light plate, but I think it was worse than light plate. And then, so I had to bite the bullet and just buy 4 of these from 4 different people. But if this is what I'm getting, then that's okay. This is a beautiful, unplayed, revised Wrath of God. I'm happy with that. All right, so let me show the listings just to be thorough. So just so you see scans, revise, okay. Well, it just says look at the pictures, which is fine. From looking at the pictures, this looked nice. Nice. All right, so $10, no extra shipping fee. So very nice. Ooh, this is nice. This should be a Maze of Ith. So actually, I didn't talk about the Wrath of Gods, right? So, but I think that's pretty straightforward. My version of the deck has 12 creatures, I think. Of course, the 4 Birds of Paradise, 4 Erhnamgeddons, 4 Sarah Angels. Before I only had 3, but I bumped it up because as I was doing my mock games, it was hard for me to get threats out, right? So I just decided to put 4. The 4th one that I also had. So it's not too many creatures. So this could be very definitely something that I could add in. It might definitely ping me as well. But it definitely, if I'm like having to resort to casting this, it means I'm in trouble anyway. Right? So I don't care if I have to get rid of one or 2 of my own creatures. That probably means I'm being overrun, right? So if I don't play it, I'm just going to die anyway. So this is, if I'm playing against an aggro deck, a Winnie decks, something that's just attacking me a lot, and I can't cast things enough or build enough control, enough ICs to give myself time to establish myself more, right? So this is nice for that, for against those kind of decks. So similar Maze of Ith. So this is Maze of Ith is, I believe, the restricted, right? Or if not, at least it's restricted in the formats, right? So maybe some of them don't restrict it, kind of like there's certain cards depends on the formats. You can like what's it called, strip mine. I only have 1 strip mine. Actually, that's a card I'm debating. Maybe I'm getting more of, especially since they're so cheap, right? At least for the reprinted ones. Certain formats you can play all 4 strip mines, but more often than not, that I've noticed, is a restricted card. So same thing with Maze of Ith. I believe in general it's restricted. I mean, I know it's restricted. I just can't recall if it's always restricted, right? Kind of like the Moxes, they're always restricted. You know, Black Lotus is always restricted. Balance is always restricted. I'm just I'm just not sure if it's situational depending on the format. But I only got one. But honestly, yeah, I'm not sure if I would get more. Actually, maybe I could see myself with one more. If I just got to review the format rules about this. So a lot of this is me trying to protect myself against aggro decks, or this one maybe not so much against aggro, but just just anything that has strong creatures that are, and right, I don't have that much removal against creatures per se, right? I got the 4 swords and that's it. And then I have 4, main deck. I have 4 disenchants, right? If the creature is an artifact creature, without Mishra's Factory, that could work against that also. All right, so the envelope, bubble envelope, then it came with that big block of cardboard, and then inside a penny sleeve. Then here's the card itself. So yeah, pretty nice. Definitely light played. But there's no scratches on the. It's more like you can tell from the edges. And yep, on the back, but it's actually the back is not so bad. It's more beat up on the front and at the edges once more, right? The front of the card is actually pretty nice, and even it's beat up, but tiny bit. It's pretty decent, light played condition here. So tap, target attacking creature becomes untapped. This creature neither deals nor receives damage as a result of combat, right? So a fog, if I'm not mistaken, and the dark, right? So is from the dark. So this is good against, just I'm playing up against a deck that has big creatures, and right, I don't have that many, that much protection. Maybe like he has a bit more creatures than me. Like this is good against really white Winnie deck, right? An aggro Winnie deck. They got a lot of creatures, so I need to kill a lot of them all at once, even if it costs me some of my own. This is more, we're somewhat evenly matched, but maybe they got a couple more. They got 4 more creatures than I do, so I'm not always able to deal with it. Right, but I don't want to just clear everything because it's almost neck and neck. This could give me. This would then allow me to block their stuff, and then still lets me keep my stuff. I don't have to blow everything up basically, right? So I was noticing these a lot in sideboards as well, right? So, and I believe these are restricted either always or maybe just based on the format, but I don't anticipate getting more than one. So pretty nice, and it's from the dark, so I like. Pretty cool that I could get it from that set. All right, so let me show the listing. So that was $20. I think that's the most expensive one out of all of these so far. Plus almost $5 shipping, right? Plus with the taxes. So it was spent like over 26, maybe 27 on this card, right? But it's definitely gets used a lot in the Erhnamgeddon sideboards, right? So it was worth it. I definitely see this. Some of these, like it's give and take whether I use them or not. Whirling Dervishes, maybe I just don't use Whirling Dervishes, and I just end up just putting either Order Leitburs or just White Knights instead, right? And then I don't even use any Whirling Dervishes, right? Or reverse. I use the Whirling Dervishes, maybe even just a couple, not or maybe all 4. And then, okay, then I have that. I don't really need the White Knights or the Orders of Leitburs. Right, so some of these are depends the way my mood swings basically, or the way just it's up in the air. Maze of Ith is probably not an up in the air card. I'm gonna have it. Same thing with Relic Barrier. I'm definitely gonna have even the Great Roman Preservation. Definitely gonna have at least. Yep, those cards I'm definitely gonna have them always. Right, for the Greater Realm I might need another one, or might have this in addition to other COPs. Right, so it's a little leeway. So some of these cards are, you know, more situational than others. Some other ones, I know they're going to be in the sideboard. This is one of those. Then had, yep, it was just no description. I think just look at the card from the picture, which they took a nice picture. You can tell, right? Light plate, definitely. Actually, it looks better in person than it does from the picture, from the photo. A lot of times it's like that, where the photo magnifies the imperfections. But when you have it up in person, it's not, you know, not as bad. All right, so this should be another Wrath of God. I bought 4. I have, I believe, 3 here. So I open 1. Yeah, the next one should also be another Wrath. And then I'm just trying to double check that I showed the correct Wrath. This one listed their account name, so I know specifically from what seller it is. I just want to make sure I show the correct seller's card. All right, so just a regular envelope. They put some kind of a cardboard stuff in it. They put a lot of tape around it, which is, I think, is good. This makes it hard to remove because it makes it hard to cut. Right here, it's already hard for me to take out this card because I don't want to fold it or whatever. And then more, this is just paper, but still, every little thing helps. Here, same thing. I don't want to bend the card as I'm removing it. All right, nice. Another Wrath of God. This one, it says it's light plate and it was cheap. I think the other one, how much was the other Wrath of God? $10. This one is half the price, $5. And this one said it's light plate. The other one was near mint. Yeah. Okay. So there's a penny sleeve in here, but it's just so tight that the bare card just came out. Yeah, it looks very nice. Honestly, this looks near mint. I guess maybe you can see the use, but that's in that in between area of light plating near mints. You could definitely pass out as near mints, right? Maybe some people would even consider near mints. So I think this is a great view. I got looks pretty good. So let me see. Let me show it. Wrath of God. Oh yeah, this one is 4th edition. I forgot. The Wrath of Gods, since it was hard for me to find them. That's why this is cheaper. If it was a revised light play, it would still be like probably $7, $8. But this is a 4th edition Wrath of God in light plate. Honestly, I could even see it as near mint. So it looks nice. But yeah, I forgot that I bought these half and half, 2 revised, 2 4th. The reason was, first of all, I couldn't find 4 revised in nice condition. I found 2 in right nice condition that I got, and then I couldn't find 2 more. The condition of the car were more deteriorated than I wanted to have. Plus, actually, for this card, I kind of like didn't mind having from a different set. It's good to have cards from different sets because sometimes just you want to mix and match, make sure there's there's no counterfeits and stuff, right? So maybe there wouldn't be anything for 4th edition, right? Who's going to counterfeit a 4th edition card? But just the idea of having cards in different sets so you can compare, right? So that's why I'm trying to get cards from Alpha and Beta. So I do have the IC Manipulator from Unlimited. So if I ever get another Unlimited card and I'm like dubious about if it's legitimate or not, I could always compare to those cards, right? Even though that's an artifact, maybe it's a different color, right? Definitely could be. At least it just gives me an idea, right? So that's what I've read and heard that is good to do. Have different card sets that are good, and then have them to compare in case you need to. Although this one, right, is just a 4th edition card, that's fine. All right, so let me show the listing. Light plate, $4.73 for shipping. This look nice. And then look at the back, right? So seems near mint to me. Right here, it looks a little kind of like blurry. On the in person, that this I don't see that at all, right? So I think the camera is not the best here. This looks great. I could see maybe as the light plate, but I could also see it as near mint. So I think light plate is fine, but it's near mint. Let's just say, right? So that one was fine. 4th edition. So now next one. Okay, this one also posted. This is, I believe, another 4th edition one. So then I have one more Wrath of God, a revised one. So this is just a regular envelope, but they put here's a card. They taped it to behind a piece of cardboard, well, which is fine. And that's in a top loader. So they put a top loader, and that's what they taped to the cardboard. Right, so good protection. I almost put the knife in through the top loader. I think I actually did, but I didn't touch the card. Or did it? Got to be more careful. There's a little nick on it, actually. Let's see if the card had a nick on the picture, and then if not, then I just created that nick. Oh no, I had it. Okay, good. All right, so this one I'm kind of being more carefree with it because these are just cheap cards. Yeah, but yeah, nice condition. Yeah, it does have that neck up top, but it did have it in the picture, so it wasn't for me. And yeah, this one also seems in that light plate near mint gray zone. So let me show the listing. And yep, this one is 4th edition. Actually, did I do the zoom up? I don't think I did. Let me just do it again if I did. You see that neck right there? I thought I did that, but it is in the picture that was on the listing. All right, so light plate 2 near mint. Oh, what did I say? Just what I was thinking. Yep, looks great. Ooh, what's that? You see that little squiggly line there? That seems like his hair, or just the outside, because it's already in the top loader, right? Because on the picture, I don't see that. You see those scratches? That's the top loader. The card back is impeccable. So I think this person should have not put it in the top loader if the top loader is so beat up. It makes it look like it's worse than it is. It's actually, like I said, if it wasn't for that neck, that part would have definitely made it near mint. All right, but $7, no shipping, right? So probably a couple dollars tax and whatever, $1. So $8 for this 4th edition. Very nice near mint light plate Wrath of God. So I got 3 here. I should still have 1 more to go. So this is the last card now. This one's pretty interesting. 4 revised Serendib Efreets. So you guys saw heard my explanation for the Wrath of Gods, right? So I don't know if I would do all 4, honestly, in a sideboard. But it was so cheap and such an iconic card, I figured, why not? I mean, I might go all 4, right? So this one is definitely not a sideboard. This is more like a while ago, I bought 4 unstable mutations because I kind of got the idea of doing a budget blue aggro deck. And then the Serendib Efreets, the original, are from Arabian Nights, I believe, right? And they look cool. They're in blue. These in revised, they made an error, and they reprinted them, but they reprinted it in a green border. Here, the mana symbol is blue, right? So this is a blue card. It's just a printing error. But they're all like this, right? It's not like only certain batches or anything. All the revised Serendib Efreets look like that. If I wanted them to look, the way they're supposed to be, a blue creature, they're from Arabian Nights, they're like 200 each, right? So I wasn't going to do that. So I saw this, and even these, they can kind of, considering these are rare, I believe, and it's a pretty nice creature, right? This is basically very similar to Erhnamgeddon's, as in it's a strong, cheap creature with a drawback. So this is not so much, this, I don't see this as this is annoying to cut. They use a really strong tape. But I gotta be careful. This card does have more value. And it's a playset. I got all 4. So like I said, so this is more for either I do a separate blue deck, which I do want to do. I mean, I do want to do that. So this will go for that. But I've recently discovered there's another version of the Erhnamgeddon, the Bantamgeddon, which adds blue. So I already added blue, right? So that's what inspired me to like research more, like they're already, Erhnamgeddon decks that have blue already, right? So I'm thinking of being original. I'm not, apparently. At least maybe a little bit, because I'm not fully adding a whole new color, just splashing blue, and I splash a little black there. So I'm thinking about going Bantam blue, or at least having the cards for me to switch into Bantam Erhnamgeddon, Bantamgeddon. So these cards will either work for my other deck that I'm gonna make, or I may change my Erhnamgeddon deck and permanently add a blue into it. The reason why I may not is mainly not because of these cards, but those Bantamgeddon decks have dual lands that add the blue, right? So I don't want to, and anything that has blue costs more in old school. The Mox Sapphires is the most expensive Mox. The dual lands that have blue are more expensive than all the other ones. So anything that gives you blue mana costs more, right? So then, like I would have to buy like 4, 5, 6 more dual lands, right? Unless, I just want to do islands, which that's probably what I'm going to do, right? So, it's a bigger investment than just this, right? And then, just put in some blue, some islands, right? So at least, if I want to, go the full powered Bantamgeddon, right? So I might still go Bantamgeddon, but then I have to just add City of Brass and in addition, islands, right? So, I might add one extra, couple of dual lands, blue dual lands here and there if I see a good deal. But, this gives me that flexibility of, either I make a new deck in blue aggro, or add blue into my Erhnamgeddon deck and turn it into Bantamgeddon. But then I got to make other adjustments to it, okay? But this is at least the beginning of that, and it gives me that option. But this is not really a sideboard card. Kind of like the Unstable Mutation. That's not a sideboard card. First of all, I just like the card. That was strictly from the blue aggro deck I want to do. So let me show these. They look really nice. I think it was listed as 2 near mint, 2 light played. They all look nice. This one, I'm not sure which one it is. This just looks solid. They all do. This one does have a little smudge. You see there? So it looks nice. But that's actually a printer error. It's not like it got smudged up by a person. Right? It definitely looks like it was printed like that, right? So that might be actually beneficial. A lot of people collect things that are misprints and they cost more. This one has, yeah, the scuff there, right? So this is one of the light plate. The other one seems like it was near mint. Can you tell which one this is? So this one seems also has a little smudge, scuff. Seems like it's printed that way. Right, so two of these have smudges that were, but it was from the printing process, right? So not only were these cards reprinted, printed wrong, wrong color. I don't even know if this is the right art because the original Serendib Efreet had a different art, and revised tend to just use, if I'm not mistaken, they use all the same art. Didn't create any new art. So it seems like this is the whole card is off, right? The color and the art. And then in addition, seems like they also have printer error dots and stuff like that. This is the other near mint tool. So they look really nice, right? Even with those little smudges, which were printed in that way, seems like they're printer errors. I actually don't mind that. I think that's kind of cool, if anything. Yeah, two near mint to light plate, definitely very nice. So that was the last batch from there. I do have a couple more. This is definitely, I was considering just stopping and waiting for the other batches to come in, which is not that many left. But I figure, I'm collecting enough. I don't want to. And who knows, right? So I might be waiting, and then it takes even longer than I thought. So just get these out of the way. I should have a little bit more, not too much more. This is the bulk of the cheap, quote unquote, cheaper stuff. Oh, I forgot to show the listings that I bought this from. Right, just to once again give you guys a full of what I did. Let me see. Well, this is the new art. Just was curious if they had the old art here, anywhere on here. No. I bought Mahamori jeans also. Those are coming in. I think revise 4 of them. But I just bought it today, so I know it's not going to come until a while. All right, so 4 here, just put it there, and then took a picture of the back. So he had it for 42. I off 40, and then he took it. So $2 off. So $10 a card from Revise, all of them in Revise. In fact, yeah, these are not in 4th edition, I'm pretty sure. So either you get them the original from Arabian Nights, I believe, or the revised ones. Those are the only 2, at least, that are old school legal, right? And then this one, there's some, it always gets posted in the, what cards are legal in what format and what's so forth. This one always gets placed there because this technically does not follow the rules, right? This does not have the original frame, right? Because this is a blue card that has green frame, and it doesn't have the original art either because the real art is different. Actually, let me see if I can just, just to give a full understanding of everything. All right, so let me share this screen here just for you to compare. All right, that's how it looks. So yeah, Arabian Nights, look at this. What? It's U2. That's uncommon. Although there's different degrees of uncommon, right? Some were so uncommon is they practically were rare. So this is one of those that are, they're maybe they're considered, they're technically uncommon, but they're basically rare. So this is how it should look. Blue frame, and that's the artwork. The genie coming out of the bottle, and it has 2 heads. two faces. This does not look like that, obviously, right? So this probably was meant to be something else, right? It was a art for different card. So this one does not have both of those things, those stipulations: original frame, original art, but it was printed like this, right? So this gets an exception. This is the only card that gets an exception because it was printed wrongly, right? It was supposed to look like the other card that I just showed, right? But considering everything else in Vise, if you're allowed the reprint policy from Atlantic Central and Eternal Central and Atlantic, then this this should qualify because it's part of every other revised reprint, right? They just Wizards made a mistake and they botched the the way it was printed, right? But it's still that's why this one gets a pass from those rules, because it was a company error, right? So it's not following the rules because of an error from the company itself. Wizards made that error, right? If it wasn't for that, then these would be legal, just like any other revise. So this one gets a pass for them, right? But I just wanted to point that out, that it's in a unique situation, that particular card, right? So 3 mana, 3/4 flyer, gives 1 damage to every upkeep. All right, but very strong 3/4 flyer, and it has flying, right? So it has evasion. So that's, and of course, just 3 mana, very easy to cast this turn 1. Definitely easy to cast it turn 2, right? So, so that gives me more motivation to turn the deck into Bantamgeddon, right? So I have these here. What shows the other one? Well, actually, these are the only ones in this batch, at least. All right, but then it would make it more worth it for me adding the Ancestor Recall and Time Walk, because I have more blue anyway, right? So I'm definitely toying with that idea. I think I probably will go there, just to give myself more variation and just make it more fun. And I'm not just playing the same deck all over all the time, right? So at least it gives me that option, which I think I will be exercising. I'll get more of those. The only thing I might not do is the dual lands, right? I don't want to invest in that when it's, this is, just turning it to Bantamgeddon is just a lark, right? Just something fun. The deck is mainly, Erhnamgeddon is mainly green and white, and I don't want to invest in very expensive dual lands just to fit blue in there, right? So I'll fit blue, but I'm not gonna buy brand new dual lands for that, right? Or if I do, definitely not buying 3 or 4 of them of each, right? Because there's a couple of them. So, but at least it gives me that option for that particular version, Bantamgeddon. All right, so like I said, I do have some Mahamoti Djinns coming up. I just bought them today, actually. And as some cards pop up into my brain, I'm getting them. I also bought 4, what's it called? Let's see if I have. Actually, I don't think Mishra's Factory, there is. I didn't buy them from eBay. I bought them from, I think, TCG Player. So that's a land that you pay 1 and it turns a 2/2 artifact creature. Right, so very famous card. I got the 4th edition ones, right? So those are cheap. I think the original is on Antiquities. Those are expensive. They're like 60, 80, or definitely higher than that per card, right? So, but I just got the 4th edition ones, which are like $3 each. And that I got the day before, right? So, as I'm researching and I'm seeing different things, and different things pop into my brain, like I'm saying, oh, okay, this could also be useful for my sideboard, or maybe even I decide to tweak things for the main deck, right? So, so that's another one that's coming up, right? So I don't want to say everything that's coming up. I don't want to spoil all the surprises, but there's a couple more. But this was the bulk of what I bought for the sideboard, and like I said, I'm purposely making it flexible. So I'm really going to have made like a 20-30 card sideboard, right? And then some of these cards definitely will be in the sideboard. Some other ones depends on the situation, right? So it'll be a shifting 15 card pool, 15 card sideboard, right? From a bigger pool, from a maybe a 20 to 30 card pool. And then depending on, you know, I might try certain things. May I like it, may I don't like it. Who knows? But either way, these cards, most of these cards are so cheap anyway. So it didn't hurt me financially to experiment, and then at least, you know, at least it's good to have these cards, right? Really, all of these are iconic cards, right? So, and you know, I can very easily turn the deck into a weenie deck if I so decide. So, you know, it's very flexible, full of cards, not only restricted to the sideboard. It could very well shift the deck, the main deck, in the main deck, and I mean, either add blue to it, turn it weenie, right? So it just gives me a lot more flexibility, makes it more fresh, and makes it more worth it for me to have invested all this, right? I'm not just playing with the same deck all over again, with the same 15 card sideboard, right? So I like that idea. All right, so I'm going to leave this video up to there. This is a big part already of the sideboard, of the flexibility I want the deck to have, depending on different formats, depending just different things I want to try. I have that time walk already coming up, and hopefully in 1 or 2 days, I can, if I can win one of those bids, I can have the Max Jet, and those are the last Power 9s that I intend to get, and then that will complete the 60 card deck officially. And then this will give me the tools to build a solid 15 card sideboard. So I'm coming the completion of the deck and the sideboard, and then I'm learning more about, you know, just the rules, right? The etiquette of gameplay, you know, cutting decks, shuffling. I'm actually practicing shuffling and practicing my KSO flipping. All right, so a lot of things, and also researching, reading, watching videos about not just Erhnamgeddon decks, but just any kind of deck. You know, the more I'm exposed to, the more I know what deck the opponent's going to play against me, and I know what steps I need to take or what they could be doing in response, right? So, you know, just it'll make me more informed, more likely to win games. But more, you know, whether I win or lose, that's not the main thing. It's more, you know, I want to be competitive, right? You can be competitive and still lose, that's okay, right? But I don't want to just, you know, look like a noob, basically, right? Even though I might be. At least I want to be somewhat competent, somewhat educated, right? And not just be steamrolled all the time, right? So especially imagine me steamrolled and I have all this freaking Power 9 cards in my deck. That would be extremely embarrassing, right? So I want to avoid those kind of situations by educating myself. I'm just knowing more about what my opponents might play, or how opponents play against Erhnamgeddon decks, right? So, so I'm still up in that in that phase of research and, you know, learning phase, as I'm getting these the final bricks of the deck. But it is nearing completion by this point. Hopefully, like I said, I can get that Max Jet situation resolved. In the last video, I believe I mentioned that I was scammed from a Max Jet in eBay. I never got the card, but thanks to the eBay protections, buyer protections, I got my full money refunded. But then that made me not have a Max Jet, right? So then I still, and in fact, while that situation was happening, I saw a great Max Jet go for very cheap. I'm like, should I still buy it anyway? Because I could, even if the other one goes through and I do buy it, I could just sell this again and at least get my money back, maybe even make a profit. So I was seriously considering just buying the. I probably actually would have bought it, but I was working literally right when the auction ended, and then like after I was done with work, I checked it out and like, oh wow, this went for really cheap. I should have been up in it. So that's the main reason why I wasn't in the bidding process, because I was in the middle of working. And plus, you know, I was a bit undecisive because I still didn't know the full situation of the scam that I had you know, that I fell on. So so I'm still on the search for Max Jets. I'm looking on Facebook. In fact, the time walk I got from Facebook also. Facebook, so I'm looking TCG Player, Card Kingdom, just searching everywhere. But hopefully, like I said, I can get that resolved, and then that'll be resolved. And then these final cards coming in will build the pool of cards available for either my sideboard or for me adjusting the main deck in different directions as I see fit, as I want the need for variety, right? So, but this phase also is nearly completion. So a bit more research while I get those final cards, and then the play should be happening very soon after that. So thank you for watching this video. I'll get some more cards in later as they come in. The final more pieces of the sideboard, and the last two, hopefully I will soon have both final Power 9 cards, Time Walk and Max Jet, and then I'll be fully ready for playing. Thank you.